We have never seen BBL make it this far in a tournament before. They are just one away from Masters Toronto. But as both of you said, for Heretics, they have to win today. They are still the favorites. They've not lost a single game this entire split. Will it start today? We'll see as we take a look at the map vetos, because there's a few different places we could go, right? Where would you like to see this go?
Absolutely. I mean, there's a couple. I mean, I think for me depends on what BBL are going to be banning and how Team Heretics is going to react to that. They're going to decide to take the Lotus out. They've done this in the past, even though they've also had some showings. I think this just leaves the door open to go and see exactly that. Icebox, Ascent and Icebox. This is a very interesting first two maps.
They remember they're Turkish.
Nice. No, see, I like this. I wanted to see BBL pick into Ascent, given that when we saw Team Heretics play, it didn't look great, right? It was Apex that managed to push them over the edge with that one. However, in saying that, that was in week 1 of the regular season. Knowing Team Heretics, they will have 100% gotten that Ascent up to scratch by now.
I'm in the camp of, it's not a lie to say that Heretics' worst map by a long shot is Ascent, considering they never play it.
Yeah, they banned it. They literally perma-banned it for an entire year. It's a map that it's never been their comfort zone. And as you're saying, Billy, the showing that we saw back in week 1 didn't go their way. But if you are Team Heretics and you've had that extra time to prepare for today, you know that there was 2 chances for you to go. There's not that many options that BBL can take to break you down. And Ascent has looked like a weakness on the side of Icebox as well. Minibu is going to be extremely unleashed. I think that if you're BBL, you need to shut that down as soon as possible.
I heavily favor Levin and BBL on Ascent. I think Heretics, I think we're going to get all 3 maps.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Haven, the last one, isn't it? That
Haven is, that's a banger.
You deserve
for both
it.
of
I
these
think
teams.
that I'll be happy. I don't care who wins today. I just wanted to make it to the map 3.
Do you really not care who wins today?
No, I don't, because
You're not going to go for Heretics?
No. I'm gonna be completely honest. I love the storylines for both of them.
Yeah.
For Heretics, I would freaking love them to have a flawless run, make it into Toronto, smash all them noobs.
Yeah.
I want that. But on the other side, BBL and what they've done this year, looking so unstoppable today, beating Heretics.
I'm telling everyone in Spain you said that. I'm telling everyone. Let's take a look at the agent select here, and we have some changes.
Double duelist.
I love it.
I like this. I like this a lot. I'm glad that they've taken Minibu off of that Waylay. It didn't look like something that they were 100% comfortable with when we last saw them play Ascent. And like I said, I was expecting to see Prep going into this. We have Woods playing the Jet. I'm here for it.
Absolutely. I mean, Turkish, Jet, Ascent,
Literally.
loving this combination, loving Team Heretics, doubling down on this double duelist. I really want to see how the dynamic is going to be, especially on the defense. The possibilities for aggression from 3 players that I'm seeing right now, also comboed with a Sentinel like Benji Fishy and Rians. Just Rians. It's amazing.
We have a very tasty best of 3 coming up, and just in case you haven't had your lunch yet and you're still hungry, fresh out the booth and toasted to perfection, it's Panini.
Thank you so much, the desk there, kind of leading us into this one. Obviously, the agent change up here has caught our eye, but we want to start that step before with the veto. Mini, there's a lot to be said about this, but kind of, I feel like BBL have known their win content. They are the underdogs coming up against the undefeated Heretics thus far, but have they found enough room with Ascent being first?
I think Ascent is the absolute map that BBL needs to pick here to test Heretics' map pool.
Yes.
We've been saying this about some other teams not being tested, but BBL have chosen the right map here. Heretics have avoided this map. They've lost on it to Apex of all teams. And the rest of the maps, we've got Icebox, which Heretics' Icebox is beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
It doesn't tick my boxes as a coach, but like, it doesn't matter. Like, if I'm saying it's beautiful, despite not ticking my own boxes, it must be beautiful. And then Haven, like,
if we get there, we can start that conversation.
There's so many. Both teams play beautiful Valorant, and these maps are the maps I want to see it on.
Yeah, and we can now start looking towards the change-up that Heretics went for here. That Waylay just didn't look quite good. That was featured in that series up against Apex earlier on. It didn't look like it suited them by any means, but we focus on the game for now. We'll touch back in on this role, well, not even role swap, but the agent change-up coming through. But it will be, of course, Heretics on the defending side.
Heretics are ready for this mid approach.
Well, there's one thing to be ready, it's one thing to deal with it. Minibu saved by Woot there, but the patience pays off. Takes the TP out, and it's a great first strike.
Yeah, surprised that BBL have all this utility with the triple initiator and walking straight through the smoke.
Almost
Caught off
greedy.
guard.
You know, trying to save all that util potentially, and Going to be punished off the back. They're left with 3 standing. Sociable, Levin, Profek. Still able to maybe navigate some options. You see a very passive hold on this A site.
Yeah, we'll come down to Boo here, just alone on this A site. Does have the paranoia. Oh, this is nice.
Timing. Oh, the shot's real nice as well from Benji. Quick trade though, but they don't know about Boo. And look at this man, so ready for it. Waiting patiently, and he gets his reward. Sociable now trying to maybe cut off the support system, but they can play the numbers now. Even Miniboo waiting there. It's lovely from Heretics, but BBL missing some steps, it felt like.
Yeah, if I want to talk about the compositions a little bit.
Yes, please.
The triple initiator is, in my opinion, is an attack-sided composition on this map. You have all the utility to take all the space you possibly want. If the opposing team tries to re-clear you, it doesn't matter. You can just util back. All this recharge utility just gives you so much space. Didn't quite work out on the pistol round. And the opposite side, Heretics' comp isn't supposed to be an amazing defense comp. It's got double duelist, which traditionally has gone on attack. If they can start getting some rounds on this defense side, like the pistol, it could be looking good for Heretics on Ascent.
And normally mentally I'd check out a little bit in these rounds, but we have been seeing these back and forth moments. Maybe not so much with these two teams as such, but I do want to keep a little bit of a close eye on it. It seems very all in for now. Going to have to go through their protocols though, because we can see the setup in place. Now, Benji's already got one just, I imagine, revealed there potentially, or actually no, it doesn't even look like the assist was on that one, so maybe just a shot in the dark, but rewarded nonetheless. And this approach is already not finding what they want.
Yeah, that approach from Heretics felt reminiscent of last year, the Benji Cypher, Rian, Soba on the same site.
Deadly duo.
Yep, recons, wall bangs, everything going on.
And speaking of Benji, what a return to form for him as of late. A lot more of that kind of clutch potential rising up. You roll your mind back to the kind of Sunset days. This guy was getting 2-3Ks every time, it felt like, closing out rounds for Heretics. Starting to see a little bit more of that from him as well. Love to see that kind of coming back into form. And for Heretics, it has been this road of recovery. Kickoff was a disaster. Yeah. So for them, what a return of some of these elements. And I think that's one of the things we're impressed with this team, is the resilience overall.
30 seconds left.
This is looking simple stuff. Oh, he's put it on a show for us. But maybe Sociable, he gets another. Yeah, well, it was a nice try. Making something out of nothing, took 2 players down.
Yeah, we didn't quite touch on Wook Jet, but he switched to it on the Pearl as well for the double duelist. Again, traditionally not kind of the thing that you expect from a team like Heretics, sure. But I can't doubt Woot, is basically how that goes.
Yeah.
Woot and Miniboo this stage have been phenomenal. Like beyond phenomenal.
And it feels like they're almost sometimes underrated for what they're doing, statistically, even just visually, how good they are here. Certainly deserving their flowers throughout this run. However, Bite come in here for BBL, gonna have to deal with what remains with Heretics on Heretics' bonus here. The Bulldogs, the Guardians, and it looks simplistic. Yeah, very singular in approach here. Boo gonna be forced off from the high flash, and I think that should at least allow them the sight.
No Sentinel on the attack side for BBL means that Miniboo can get this flank in undetected.
Now you say undetected, but there's a player put to place on this. Done for! Magnum! Sat back down! Miniboo so swift with it. And now they've got problems, right? Nowhere feels safe, so BBL maybe looking for some security. A quick dash to split the ideas of where they want to push from and hold from, but Benji there. Gonna find Yampi. There is not much going right for BBL in this one, and this strangling hold of this site is gonna get harder and harder to breathe against. Rien's now taking the steps. It's Miniboo to clear the last 2. And Heretics look very, very comfortable on that retake.
Yeah, that's a worrying round for BBL. They're playing to their comp strengths to some degree with the Teo bursting in, but Heretics have identified already one of the major weaknesses it has. And like I said before, this is going to need to be a big attack side for BBL in this composition matched up head-to-head, sorry.
Yeah. No, just watching this one back. Again, the early identification. I think I can lip read that, but the early identification and even the fact that they're pressuring those backlines so early, you know, that first buy round coming in, they've already ripped that away from BBL. The fact that Miniboo's on that backline pushing in, taking away Magnum, and it's a cold start for BBL here. Look, we know they're the underdogs in this regard. We know they're coming in on the back foot if you're up against basically a flawless run team, but they need something to work out for them here. Some of these players yet to even get on the board. It feels very cold.
Yeah, and when Miniboo's opening up like this, like already looking warmed up, highest rated player of this stage, I believe, so far. It's looking great for Heretics.
It certainly is, and this is the map choice of BBL, so this somewhat frozen start when you know that Icebox is looming. That could be recipe for disaster. However, we wait to see if there's more life in them yet. We've been giving a lot of credit to BBL, playing within their means perfectly, if not over-delivering in some aspects. Some very talented individuals, the coaching staff, everything about them we've enjoyed. But it does feel like maybe they've hit a bit of an overmatch here.
Yeah, I have to agree with all of that. There's some teams, I think, in our league that can learn a lot from BBL right now. But Heretics looking different levels right now.
Benji, I like this. Making a risky approach, slipping back towards stairs to supplement the site, and just eats the flash. The flash was, I don't know who that even came from in the end, but at this point, Yampy and Magnum, can they still get under the skin? I don't think so, absolutely not. Heretics making them look, you know, near on college level, amateur at this point. Nothing seems to be going right for BBL. I need to see them with a buy. I need to see them back firing here.
Yeah, and that's the big problem. When you lose that pistol, lose that bonus, you start to look a little bit silly. Like, we're looking at essentially the first real gun round of the game is already 4-0 down. I'm surprised BBL on that bonus round going for an all-in approach. Traditionally, they go a bit more spread out with the triple initiator, taking a bit more of that map control. I wonder if they're going to switch back to that style, or they go for this all-in style. Looks like they're going to continue with the all-in style.
The tempo change potentially here, but still the setup, still Benji to have to handle. If he suppressed, that'd be marvelous, but I don't think that's going to be the case here. Levin looking for anyone, but for now, struggling to get cleanly on the site. Already hindered slightly, but pathway open, but the TP taken. Miniboo's here, locked in visually, plays it forward. He's dealt with. Nice from BBL, very heads-up work. Hindered on approach, though, through from Catwalk. Benji, back-to-back kills, but BBL fighting through. They've got potentially a plant here. They have numbers advantage. This is what the doctor ordered. But Woot against them in a 1v3. Can he isolate? He has a fair fight on the first. Yampy, would you be your first challenger? Not gonna happen. Big round from Yampy there. And a nice reaction from BBL. This time, able to make it through onto the site.
Yeah, BBL, it seems like they've changed game plan completely. It's going to be an all-in style with this composition, trying to overwhelm the sites with KO. I liked Heretics' approach and reaction, though. Again, playing a bit more of a retake style, knowing that holding these sites is going to be a little bit difficult. The flooding didn't quite work, though.
That haunt was lovely that came through. Starting to see that more and more. Magnum doing his work, yet to get on the board, at least kill-wise, but certainly facilitating that push to be as comfortable as it felt, even though with all that drama going on. Operator still in play for Woot, though. Big investment here.
Here we see the Sentinel utility being used on the A side of the map as an anti-KO ult setup here for Heretics. Expecting Yampy to use the KO ult early.
Oh, it's going to be Woot then standing to attention. Does he get punished early on here? Ah, yeah, he absolutely is. But Rien still holding the line, denies that. Oh! What is that from Rien's? No vision, doesn't matter. Sociable gone. They're already dwindling in numbers. Woot's tucked in the corner. This is still fine for him, apparently. No pressure for this man. Where's that pressure coming from A main, though? Yampy didn't need the support until then. Miniboo left on his own. Does go down, leaving Prophet in a 1v2. He's sprayed down. There is little to be done in that, it felt like. Even in all that chaos, Heretics still looking like they're in control.
Yeah, Heretics reading the KO ult beautifully, knowing that it's likely going to be a fast round using that KO ult. Rien's got some beautiful kills. Wu, in a very awkward position, still manages to do damage.
Yeah, the fact he's still able to fire off from there. Bloody hell.
Heretics look like they've been practicing Ascent.
And we were kind of talking about this. This is a BBL timeout. Do not fear, the stage will not be going red just yet. But it was something that kind of reminded me, I hate to bring up Fnatic because you're here because it feels even worse, but it was kind of, it was felt reminiscent. And I was wondering what the tangibles look like now we're in here. But it felt reminiscent of that sunset being brought into the veto late in, let's say, you know, towards a qualifier. Not sandbagging, but kind of to try and round out their veto process, right? Because when you get to those bigger events, all these teams will be looking at your veto process. Obviously, Fracture's not high up for Heretics at all. No. And Ascent has also not been a good map. So having two of those unavailable wouldn't be acceptable if you're going to those bigger events. So to see them try and maybe bolster that here, putting in work here, feels like this is an indicator to not just BBL, but every other team.
Yeah, I think the context is just slightly different in the Fnatic instance. We already qualified, so we're just doing a little bit of trolling.
Yeah, you're like, well, why not?
But in this instance, yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, they have 2 clear weak maps technically before this game, so they need to make one of them at least look good.
Yeah, and I think this is so far. I feel like they found the right reactions. I like this kind of double duelist here. It looks nice. I do want to see if BBL, though, come in maybe a little bit hotter after this timeout, maybe readjust mentality, because so far they haven't really been testing Heretics.
No, it's been a very direct approach. Heretics haven't had any problems with that.
Swoop gonna put on a show for us here. Playing up towards heaven. You can see the utility coming in. That's gonna be handled by Boot. And away we go! Levin brought out of the sky! And this is just a simple purchase, but it's made it look lovely for Woot. Back-to-back impact. He's still firing a feel-good round. All around. He almost got Profek pinned there, but just missed the timing. Has a look. Oh, come off it. Easy, Tiger. Profek going to be given an opportunity, but you can see it instantly being shut here. They are flying in Profek. It ain't going to happen. Heretics about to hit that Brazil number real soon.
Yeah, BBL trying again. They were faking towards the B side of the map, but whilst they were faking, they executed at the same time, so the fake wasn't really coming through.
Not there, yeah.
And then another signal for Heretics. If none of this refresh utility is being used from BBL at the start of the round, there's going to be some red flags. Like, why is there no util being used? Potentially, they're going to be grouping up and execing. So, Heretics having some easy reads on that anti-eco round.
Stay focused.
Ult-wise, not much here for BBL. One away from Levin, though, so that could be nice to have. But on the other side, starting to really build that full hand up. Benji's got his, Woot's got his.
This is a must-win round for BBL.
It does feel like the difference of a complete blowout, or maybe, you know, get enough rounds on this side, but you're already talking about the comp, how it suits this side, and they should be trying to get as many as possible. But Woot, once again, right place, right time! Levin on the receiving end of that 3-3-8 more often than not. And this is just going to start feeling so uphill.
I didn't realize how good Woot was with his operator.
But he's just
been phenomenal.
And he's everywhere. It feels like you're not getting away from him. There's something very oppressive about having to deal with someone on this op who's just constantly around the map. We've seen him in the previous round over towards A Heaven.
Yep.
We've now seen him towards B Main. This needs to be added to the checklist for BBL to remove that, identify it. But right now, this checklist feels like it's already missing steps.
Usually, with initiators are supposed to stop the operator. And they've got 3 of them. It's not happening right now.
He's here again, omnipresent. And whoa, just caught the flash in the end, but then Benji allowed to swing. It's still a nice combination, still effective trading for Heretics as BBL trying to take those next steps in towards the site. Once again, they're going to at least get towards a plan here. Sociable, the only one disconnected from this. Still standing on 8. Manageable with the operator. Utility for the post plant. I mean, Sociable's there, but he's got a lot of work on his hands. Sacrificial on the first swing. Boo goes down, but Rienz trades it. Again, numbers still on their side, but the HP is becoming a factor. Rienz on 27. Yampi's patience! The discipline there from Yampi. Just gorgeous. Did he get both? And it was a needed round. They might just get it. Woot, though, not going to work out. Magnum in the end. Going to secure BBL their second. And a vital round.
Yeah, Yampi there leading from the front. It's going to be difficult to replicate that round specifically, but buys them a little bit more time to figure out what's going wrong on this attack.
One enemy remaining.
Oh. These are the sort of games, though, you look to your likes of Yampis, your big boy players who've got that experience, who can keep them mentally in this game, focused up. Sociable coming out with the op as well.
Looks like a set play here for Heretics.
Get out of my way.
Let's see what
Something fast, potentially.
Well, speaking of fast, Levin's off. He's not going to go well here, though. Heretics already have players down the deep bottom of mid. Profek removes Woot, but look at Mini Boo. Going to use this as almost a get out of jail here, but at this point, the damage once again done. Number advantage.
Everything Heretics are doing just seems to be working. Like another set round this time, aggression, and BBL are caught off guard.
And I quite like that. It feels very disruptive to pull out a really aggressive round, almost like a Hail Mary at those sort of points. Momentum completely then just gets put off track.
Yeah, it's a beautiful variation on the traditional vision strikers, using the Euro almost to TP in there.
It worked well.
Here.
Jungle camp from Benji.
It was interesting.
Here now in the foliage, we see young Benji Fishy having a little look at some feet. But they're going through the list of trying to remove some of this utility, and in the meantime, BBL taking steps towards middle. And Heretics already kind of understanding that space has been left somewhat neglected. You can see Boo's reposition, you can see Rien shouldering that angle. So awareness is there, and there is no pressure through B main. So it all comes through market.
Boo smokes himself off here. He's got a timing here that he can hit.
And waiting on the contact from Rien's. Oh, more than contact! But there's the kill, and there's Boo striking off the back. Lovely little synergy, a 1-2 between them. Yampy, you got a clutch for me here. He knows Boo's waiting. Similar scenes on either side. Ult there. And Yampy, this would be magic for him. But it ain't gonna be easy. First one not gonna happen. Heretics is 3, striding back in on the site.
Yeah, one thing I want to touch on here is that we were praising BBL for simplifying with the Jet picks. Like, Levin's been very good since simplifying to Jet. The teams look better. On the map where you see Jet's farm quite a lot, Levin having a poor performance so far. I'm not going to put it all on his back necessarily, but he's not being set up for success here.
And I mean, if we talk about that, let's...
Very clean, boys. Let's go.
It does look mechanical, doesn't it? But if we talk about that bigger picture here as well, we can't ignore the fact that Heretics were the one that put the likes of Durka in, back in his box on Icebox. That was one of those where they're very good at handling these Jets, handling these traditional plays, these aggressive plays. Certainly not the first instance we've seen them achieve this. Let's see if Levin can once again try and approach this. A lot on his shoulders here. It'd be lovely to have a little bit more front line working for them.
It's a KO again for BBL. Same strategy as before.
Boo, same place this time. We saw last time around Rien's actually define the double through there. That looked like a leg, it is. Magnum down only 30. Rien's now takes his time and strikes. Magnum gone, but they take away mini boost, so the site is looking a little bit more vulnerable, potentially a plant. That's what they would need to at least get the time on their side. Spike now being shuffled in, and oh my word, Boo, he knows his angles, and already a pre-take here. Wu wants all eyes on him and wait for the others to come through as well, but BBL fighting back, couldn't control in the end. Profit from the back line's doing wonders, leaving just Benji alive. Praise that clutching coming back on for them, but the time is low here. Not an easy scenario. Can he find one? He absolutely cannot. BBL clinging on to life with a third now in their pocket.
And because of Yampy's performance so far, it means he gets that KO ult for a second time. KO ult and Ascent being one of the most powerful ults in the game. Heretics had to read again how to play around it. Maybe doing the exact same setup wasn't the play, but they were ready for it. BBL able to convert off the KO ult.
Need a little bit more of that from Yampy too. Keep those spirits up, keep them feeling good. And yeah, this is first time we're seeing this for Wu.
They've now got 2 rounds to prove that they don't need heroics or a KO ult to win some rounds, BBL now.
Early control over towards B main though being showed here by Heretics. Putting pressure towards it. Feeling no resistance now. This should allow that cheating of the third player either towards A, which I think they're getting here with Rien's. Here comes the paranoia. Minibu forced off this, but Wu out in no man's land. Can he make it his own? He absolutely can. Trying to find a little bit of a corner to play from, and he's got it. He's not been traded. He's not gone down. He knew the swing was coming, but he couldn't hit it in time. Rien's and Minibu still fighting from the site. Got Heretics what they need. This time, willing to take the challenge on the site itself. Not sitting so passive, but Minibu popping a lot of damage here. Profec's got ult. Spike's down in a precarious position, but with 55 seconds, they have time to work.
Spike down towards short though. Wonder how they're going to approach this. Prophet does have his Omen ult, so that could be a play they do. You see Benji already rotating towards B in case that happens.
They've got so many bodies, they don't have to take a risk. They can leave it 3-1, 2-2. They could do whatever they want. Sociable needs to get a kill here, really, to alleviate some of that stress. But can they split their attention? Prophet trying to take steps in here. Minibu to the right here. There's the eyes draw. Now we got to look towards Sociable. Can he get the kill in time? There's going to be the salvos going through. Force them off the angle, but they don't know about Minibu until then. Great from Sociable. But time, 13 seconds. It's time to get a wiggle on. Gotta go fast, boys. 9 seconds, door shut. It's still game on here. And now they know the post-plant position, at least for Profek. Smoke comes through, and they are divided. Can they stand on their own 2 feet? The crossfire now negated. A tap on the spike draws Sociable out, leaving just Profek in the 1v3. Incredibly hard to handle now, but great damage on Benji. They're not safe yet, Heretics. And he knows the spike's not being diffused. Can he keep his cool? Can he keep his nerve? The second try now for Heretics. Oh, what a try from Profek! Boo in the end stays ice cold under all the pressure and gets the defuse.
Really well played round at the end there for both teams. The seeded die put into Heretics' mind with the Omino, and then Sociable Profek just kind of ping-ponging off of each other there. Just beautiful play. But unfortunately, 8-3 down right now for BBL. It's not looking great.
Last player standing.
Yeah, you can feel it was close, but still, again, that scoreline ever present here. Heretics firmly in the lead, and BBL still looking for more. Around to pull out all the stops as Woot gonna instantly invest the knives.
Yeah, Woot's creativity. I even forgot that round went on for so long. His creativity in that round, the ways he's playing is not like a Jet I've seen before.
Oh, like I like the synergy with Miniboo as well.
Yeah,
already seeing them working
Miniboo's the
together.
operator player.
Oh, this is... Oh, Sociable. He didn't even know it. He didn't even know he was walking into his death. And it feels like Heretics just constantly getting these man advantages early. And there's no trades to it.
No, there's nothing.
And again, Miniboo here. Can you escape him?
Once again, you see Yampi trying his best to do some kind of distraction towards B main, but this isn't a good enough tactic.
No, it isn't. Miniboo will stand. And how long will he stand? Long enough, Levin again! Oh my god, I thought that was on, but Magnum from afar still gonna do work. Profek saving him. They're digging in on this one, a 3v3. You gotta know that Yampi was disconnected. Oh! A quick beheading! As now Woot plays it forward. This is looking lethal. It's lovely from Woot.
Down A.
As Yampi late to the party. Doors shut on him. This is a tough task here. Gotta face it, and he actually gets his man, but look at what he takes for it. Down to 4. A valiant attempt, but not enough. Heretics now sitting safe at 9-3, Mini.
Yeah, 9-3 on defense there. The side that I had more doubts on the numbers for Heretics, but it looked like the Wu-Tang Miniboo show there.
And look, we've got a little bit of a treat here hearing from Miniboo, so let's head over to that. It's behind the wall. They've walked in late to this. Fnatic having to dig deep here. But Rien's doing the dance on the back of the site, and there's a problem. Miniboo swings. Oh, and he's focusing the back lines. It is divine work.
I think we have everything, like games that we play. I think we play like really methodical. But if it gets like a 1v3, any player from Team Heretics can clutch this and just hit like some insane shots. And we can be really chaotic or really slow paced, depending on the enemy we play against. So what's needed to win the game, we're gonna do that.
Nice! Let's go, guys! Let's well played, Dennis. You're playing so well, bro.
This year, sadly, we started as a 3rd place and we didn't qualify to Bangkok. So it was a little sad, and a reality check that like international events are not given and you need to reach for them. So I mean, it would be nice to get back to internationals, you know, like just a feeling of going to Toronto would be amazing, you know?
And it is a reminder that this isn't just another game for Heretics. This is to set the records right for them here. Bangkok obviously weighing heavy on them, a disappointment in the start of the year. To come back now on their flawless run, now a map and a half away from Toronto.
Yeah, if they can make a statement in this game, looking into Toronto, they're going to be one of the favorites like they always are going into those global events.
Certainly are, and it takes a lot to stop that level of dedication and want. BBL, the question is, how bad do you want it? How deep can you dig here? That's the real question on my mind. Levin's had a brutal game. It's not been easy for him. He's got to activate now. We've got to see all of them firing on all cylinders.
And they're playing an Ascent with no Sentinel on the defense. It's going to be very difficult. They're going to be hitting shots, and that initiator utility is going to be having to get the information that the Sentinel would not be usually getting.
Show me how much you can do already. Good info early on here. At least of some sort of presence. Whether there's commitment behind, we're yet to see. But it seems this slow build towards A is happening.
Yeah, Miniboo TPing across so he can set up his TP lineup for the A split here. Oh, it looks like a crunch into Garden.
This is nice though to offset the tempo.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's an assassination! Magnum instantly deleted. I could watch that all day long. But you want shots to be hit and they're doing it. Oh, there he is! There's the Levin we were begging to show up. And now Wu left in the 1v3. It ain't looking likely. Profek, safe work from hell.
Yeah, Heretics coming in with the beautiful microplay there. Whenever they change their comps, you can expect it, but it's all on Levin. Tripling his kills in the pistol round.
I mean, he needed that, right? That could be that little confidence boost, that little bit of a, you know, a reminder of who he is, but watching this back, I'm sure we'll see it at the start. That little crunch, as I said, it was so systematic, that destruction.
Nice, boys! Nice boy again!
There he is as well. If you want to see someone pumped up, you kind of want to see Yampy being one of those players, right? He is that emotional leader.
Yeah, it's good to see that despite being so far down, it's not dissuaded him at all.
Nope. He's the most hot-blooded Finn I've ever seen. Normally ice cold, but this guy does get the people going. Levin once again, right place. Ooh, tries to do the dodge, good damage. I mean, it's not ideal, but you'll take it at this point. That's nice, though. He's playing air training, and he's setting the high score. Just down a Woot now, 1v3. Not impossible, just improbable. Especially when the spy came with you. It feels like they're tracking his every move here. Yeah, he's been caught. BBL now. Another clear step. This is what they needed.
Yeah, Levin did do a lot of damage there, but I was 0-0ing because I wanted to just see him get that momentum going. If you get a couple more kills,
then you're feeling it, right?
Eco Cobra momentum can lead on into these gun rounds. It would be potentially better half for BBL here. Sociable here.
Sociable's a treat to watch there. It feels like you put any aimer in that position, they do well. It's like Demon 1 comes to mind back in the day, this now.
Just a pure headshot.
It is, it's real nice to watch. So, bonus round is looking pretty tasty here for BBL. A lot of rifles, not a lot missing. Of course, on the other side.
They can break Heretics' economy here.
It's game back on.
BBL's economy is not looking too shabby either.
Heretics now, sending Miniboo in deep. Really trying to peacock that presence. It doesn't seem to dissuade BBL yet.
Usually, Miniboo in that kind of situation is looking to break the Sentinel utility. Nothing there to break, just distracting a little bit. Feeling out the map for a Boo's call. It looks like they're expecting some kind of aggression, but it's not going to be happening from BBL's side.
And again, Boo for me, there's been a lot of discussions about mid-rounding IGLs, how well they're doing across regions here, but Boo to me is still one of the brilliant ones. A great mind for the game.
Absolutely.
See how well he handles this. Obviously, BBL, as much as they may be underdogs, they are certainly in the limelight today. Yampy, maybe forced to fall back here. This feels very tentative across the map. We're down to 35 seconds.
Maybe just the one smoke for Boo. He used the smoke earlier on A. Maybe waiting for the second now to exit B. It's going to be all on Yampy's shoulders on this B side of the map. Right. Tough spot for him.
This ain't going to be easy. Sociable now noted they're getting a good read of where these players are, and here it comes. And there goes Yampy, unable to really put up a fight, but with 13 seconds it felt dicey. But Heretics slowing down the tempos worked wonderfully for them. This bonus not finding the damage that BBL would have been dreaming of, and that's a little out there. Not bad for Profek. Gonna need a lot more of that. Rien's vulnerable. Down on only 10. But the numbers stiflingly favored towards Heretics here. Okay, Profek, Paranoia. Hold on. You gonna make me pay attention to this, Profek? Let's see. How far can you take this? Not far enough. Rien's there. Make sure it doesn't go too far. Another weapon lost. That could have been a conversation. For now, though, they get to 10.
BBL just trying to do a little bit economic damage there. They knew if they could flood into that site, get the retake going, it was so important to the context of this half.
Enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
A bit unsure there for BBL's side why Yampy was alone on the B side. Maybe that one smoke that Boo threw towards the A side of the map was enough for BBL to over-rotate towards that side?
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what's going on here. There's one of our commentators. Pal.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Try cast buddy.
But a big swing point here now, because this feels like if BBL get the next, then you're starting to look at the ults coming online. Then you're starting to look at that money getting a little bit more robust. And it feels like the momentum doesn't get taken away. Heretics have done kind of what you'd expect in the fact that, yeah, they lost the pistol, that's fine, but they win out on their first buy round. So far, kind of following traditional trend. This next one, though, is key to me. There's no massive ults here yet, though, either for Heretics.
Big thing for me, though, if BBL were able to win that round, the operator could have come online for 11, and that now they're playing a very important round without an operator. And for Ascent defense, that is one of the win conditions.
It could have changed a lot of the outcome, at least with maybe even confidence levels coming into this, but pause to get minds set right.
I wonder what else Heretics have got up their sleeves. They've clearly been cooking some stuff, so maybe some more set rounds that BBL aren't going to be able to predict.
Now they can kind of play it out as they see it, but this is, you kind of feel like this is either opens or shuts the door in this one moment. Info. Benji, but not much more.
Rian's just choosing which lineup he needs. Yeah, it looks like Heretics just playing it very slow. Their game plan is just a slow, methodical Ascent, letting Boo work those mid-rank calls later on. A main's going to be denied from BBL.
In response, though, they have got at least a shoulder on B main. It's going to be again Yampy. I do worry if he's left so isolated so often, but I'm sure there'll be adjustment.
Nice little attempt there from BBL. They threw the KO flash over from the B side with the Haunt, trying to catch someone out of middle. Nice to see that micro there. Doesn't catch anyone, though.
Dust somewhat settling from these early moves on the board. Has Sociable seen Benji, or has Benji seen Sociable? Doing the dance back and forth here. Yeah, there it is. Pixels shown, and Benji's got it. That's a big pick here. That opens up middle, but it does leave it in a 2-2. So it's not like they have a huge advantage until, well, we look towards the site. And look who's in the corner. Magnum, this is a tough position. The paranoia flies by. But Profeg, wait, he's got 2 out of this. How's he just found 2? And they don't clear Magnum. Oh, it's game on. Surely. A 1v3 needed from Benji is not going to happen. BBL, their patience is in the right place.
Yeah, Profeg, someone I've been highlighting all year as a potential one of the best smokers in our region, I believe.
Wow,
and I thought
compliment.
I thought him and Ruxic were going to be those players coming up from tier 2, and he's having a game right now on the defense side.
19-12.
It was so sick. I don't know if this was on purpose from Heretics, but they reconned on top of Miniboo's clone and sent in him like a droning recon. I hope that was on purpose.
Was that on purpose?
I hope it was. If not, Rian's is being blamed a little bit here, but.
I mean, if it is intentional, if EVS, if we could ever find that, I'd love you guys endlessly. I know I'm being a pain in the ass, but for now, Heretics, hey, here's the change point. We were saying how critical that last round was. Well, now you're seeing it. Now you're seeing the Sheriffs. Now you're seeing the hero guardian for Wooten. That's about it. Still deadly.
See that recon flash coming in again.
Oh,
BBL?
You could see it! You said before it didn't catch. This time, Sociable gets his man. Lovely from BBL. The reward there now. As Boo and Benji got to face the music. Bad. My word, easy now, there we go, 11. Okay, step by step, we got to close the game now. Heretics not having the run of the house here. And I'm very impressed. Couple ults now getting very close by. And it looks like there's going to be a timeout already. And here it, yes, it kind of looks like it was sent in. They the recon drone. I love you, EVS. Americans could never. They could never. Honestly. But okay, let's kind of take stock then. After I've absolutely glazed the EVS team, they'll be saying,
Sure.
Yeah, boy. We got ults coming in, and we've got a big momentum change, right? BBL have taken back into this game.
Yep.
Now, Heretics, not one to turn down a challenge, though, right? This is now going to be them put under the pressure to step up to the plate. We've seen a good defensive side in some regards coming out. So where do we sit on them handling this? You know, what's the look back here for Heretics?
I think for Heretics, they don't need to be too worried yet. I think a lot of this is looking like, again, a pistol loss and then Profik having an insane round.
Yes.
To me, I haven't seen anything yet that has made me too worried for Heretics.
Okay.
Obviously, if they start losing a couple more, then it's, you know.
Ooh, yeah.
The one thing is, though, again, I don't think BBL can afford that operator. And when that starts getting into play too, that's just another angle that BBL have to potentially shut down Heretics. This round, I expect Heretics to just work around the Sova ult they have.
Yep.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, stupid. It's a classic. 1 away from Woot's ult, 2 away from Miniboo's though. 1 off from Sociables, 1 away from Magnums, a lot cycling through 11 as well. This round could really heat up. As Heretics once again, pace change though, a little bit earlier, a little bit more aggressive on taking this control, and BBL challenging some of these. In a bit of a different position too, and actually willingly forcing further on A main.
Yeah, BBL can always do this with their composition. They can always go for these refights because they have so much utility. There's a utility disparity between BBL and Heretics. If Heretics want to fight that one-on-one, BBL are going to refresh their utility later.
They're almost forcing them into this setup. Sociable spotted.
Drone going out. Drone is down.
All eyes. Did he get away with this? I wouldn't say Heretics are a lazy, clear team. Oh, but he's found the timing just right. And he gets his reward, marks his man, Miniboo's gone. Okay, I mean, I'm starting to believe a little bit here in BBL. They've been convincing me round by round. And that smoke holding back basically the majority of Heretics.
Yeah, Heretics has a very clear plan of what they do this round with the Yoru ult orb, but
I know exactly where you 30 seconds left.
11 in the middle, nothing. Okay.
He's trying to play this out. Oh, the faith in the reveal, but Rien's up middle. They brought it back to a 3v3. Benji low, boosted alive, and Rien's there. Levin still fighting, and Levin coming online. We said we needed it, and we got it. Levin, after a disastrous first half, finding his footing when BBL needed it.
Yeah, that's everything for BBL. And now Operator Economy comes online. Levin can lean into that too. A hell of a turnaround for him. Only 1 kill on that attack side. Up to
guys.
9 already.
If we talk, we will win this game. If we don't talk, we will lose.
Keeping those comms up.
Keeping it simple.
Love it, love it. Oh, it's making me smile because I just want a close game between these two.
Yeah, it seemed like Heretics in that round, I was trying to say that, like, they had a very clear timeout.
Yep.
They were getting a bit complicated, taking A, going back, taking the orb. They were going to do a kind of a Sova ult, Yoru ult combo of some sort, but the basics in that round, the fundamentals, just checking those corners, having the util there to check the corners just wasn't there.
But keep in mind, do not forget the caliber of player Heretics have. There's always a chance you get a Miniboo round. There's a chance you get a Woot round. There are options.
Yep.
And BBL need to keep that in mind. Oh my word.
Woots looked phenomenal with these knives this game already.
Yeah. I want to see BBL keep this really clean if they can. I mean, it's not an easy task to do, right, against someone who's got this firepower. But already not wanting to probably approach that B site, already hearing that Odin rattle off those bullets.
Looking like a B split here for Heretics.
Who's got ult?
Sociable Magnum bunkered in with that Odin. And Tail ult.
Yeah, we have to commit to it soon enough. There it is, just denying that access towards site, slowing them down. Now, supplementing and reinforcing the rotation. And it's site time. Sociable gonna spot the barrel as well. This is beautiful. Woot's still alive though, now he's dead. And now things are looking even better for BBL. Levin even showing off himself here, maybe unnecessarily, but fair play. With 10 seconds, do what you must, Rien's. Whoa, making this look not impossible. 5 seconds time is a factor. What a banging shot from Rien's. Plants online. Is he the one to do it here? 3 bullets. Oh, he lands it! I told you! These players are like no others. They'll get you around like that. The second you thought you were safe, Heretics remind you who they are.
And it always seems to be Rien's in those moments, saving Heretics when they're down in the momentum. They needed that round.
Oh, they bloody did. Breaks the 3 rounds back to back for BBL. And look at this one from Rienz. And it felt like it, for BBL, they took their eyes off of who they were facing for a second. These kind of individual moments. You get punished. And you can't forget about it now. They should be on red alert, but the ults are coming online, Mini. This now changes the dynamic, and it looks like it's changed the pace.
Yeah, fast now here. Sova ult, AXX coming in for Heretics.
Evan already expecting the dash towards the site, but he's waiting to find a target, but it's Profek again, strides in, but Heretics trading out better. Rienz, are you aware that you're being closed in on? Yampi is just around that corner. It looks like Rienz is aware, though. Oh my god, the timing. Yampi. This is a brutal fight. He wants it, he wins it! And now surrounding on both fronts. Sociable still has utility. He's got his drone. He's got bits to play with here. And he steps out on his own. Boo, tucked in towards Hell, misses the critical shot. But Benji doesn't, leaving just Sociable alive. Hard to clear this. But his salvos now. Swings the smoke, doesn't find anything, sends the stun off to the right. He can't handle it. Benji dragging them up to 12. Heretics getting the gap they needed.
Yeah, I love that pace change up from Heretics there. After having a big scrappy round where BBL are going to be feeling a little bit emotional, maybe talking a little bit what happened last round, how can we counter it, and Heretics not giving them time to think about that and straight into that A site.
And it all felt safe and secure for a moment, right? We were believing in that comeback from BBL, the gap getting closer, and then that gear change.
Let's move.
That moment showing who Heretics are. And now can BBL respond in kind.
Another simple approach from Heretics.
Yampi with a judge. He's not stopping. He's been seen. They know he's here. But can they remove him, right? The smoke feels almost obvious, but he's still going to stand his ground! Takes away Woot, good trade though. And now the site is under scrutiny. It's under pressure as well. Levin trying to backfill the space, but they know they've lost control of the site. Miniboo's there, but they can't hear him, they can't see him! And now they've dealt with them! BBL! Only losing Yampi after he took one with him! In all that chaos, they step up!
Yeah, just praising Heretics for the pace shift, but to do it again against a composition that has that KO knife available, the KO knife just hits all of them. Not able to do anything there off of that Euro ult there, Heretics. Great flood in from BBL.
That's a confidence builder again for BBL. Quickly, okay, breathe. We've still got a chance in this. Yampi's got ult now. 2 away from Sociables. Profek not a million miles away on the other side, pretty far from their ults, pretty far from a full purchase. But do remember how they got back in this game off the back of Rienz. 2 of those Guardians, one with Woot, one with Benji. Sheriff's outside of that. And this looks like a similar piece. We've seen this before. I mean, this time, no spam in middle.
Give that Guardian over to Rienz again.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, Woot's on 10.
There we go. Thank you, Woot.
They're listening. Coach Mini's back. This feels like the pistol round.
It does, yeah.
Oh, my word. Oh my god, hello! There's a lot of players in that smoke! Levin farming up! A feel-good moment for him! And Boo with 5 to find and a ghost to face his opponents with an in-zone flawless here. We're up to 10 now.
And I was starting to get worried that we're going to have a very one-sided affair. After we bigged it up, it's a beautiful game of Valorant between 2 good teams. And BBL, they're doing their best to make us not look too stupid.
And a timeout for Heretics here. Maybe time to pull out a set piece, a play, something in mind. This is very late in the day, and it's a Weber conversation rather than the Niels conversation.
Yeah, Weber usually talks a little bit more in these moments, I feel like. Has a bit more of that kind of mid-round, mid-game adaptation approach, it feels like. I think both go back and forth sometimes.
Yep.
But Weber, very good strategic mind for the game.
How much do you pay for that shout-out?
I was thinking about it recently because I watched the podcast with Benji and Neil, and I remembered that, you know, I am friends with these people, so I should probably say nice things sometimes. Well, I used to be a competitor, so I actually used to hate them, you know.
Got it. Now you're like, okay.
You know.
No, I think a lot of us have been impressed with what they've been able to achieve. Again, it's not the fact that Heretics were good once, it's the fact that they're getting back to being good. Now, this half, though, is a solid reminder of the fact that BBL are dangerous. You know, we've been talking about them as the dark horses here. Obviously not on the flawless run, but my God, you know, eye test alone, they are passing it. And they are making this work for themselves. It could be all over in a blink of an eye in one round, but for now they are going toe-to-toe with Heretics and making them work for their dinner.
Yeah, it's a good sign they're shutting down the explosivity from the double duelist. Heretics might need to now adapt and play a little bit more of a style that the double duelist isn't as good at, just to feel it out more.
Seeing the Outlaw out for Yampy, and you can see the light shields on the other side, so this is a big investment, and probably a valuable...
It's the Odin Towers play. Oh, that's unlucky from Perfect.
Couple nice looks from them. I've been impressed again with BBL, these little like set pieces. 11 though now, going to be the one to wait and see. Are they committing? They are. You can already see him out on side. Hello and goodbye. A quick trade for Benji leaves this now available. Ult to come through, and they've got a lurk in middle. Oh! Big shot from Yampy, opens up the retake now. 3v3. His ult could be key in this one. Changing out back to the Vandal. And on side, you've got Miniboo, Boo, Benji waiting. Ult comes in. BBL getting closer, Haunts there, Prowler's there. Magnum sends it in. Benji looking for it, but he's blinded. He can't remove this. They've got to get going now, though. Time running short. Benji again finds Profek. It's all down to Yampy who falls. Heretics, you can pressure them. You can get the map close, but it doesn't mean you're going to win it. 13-10, but what a great first map.